Here we are, guys. This is the final countdown before the big one of the year. This is the moment where I present to you my favorite metal albums for the month, and I'm talking about November, and what a crazy month that was. And spoiler alert, black metal wins it again. Before we start my countdown of my top 10 albums of the month, let's see here 5 recommendations that I give you. First, the new Javel album. If you want some atmospheric black metal, this one is for you. Again, atmospheric black metal with the new Mist of Misery album. I told you about in a weekly video as well about that one. Still black metal with the new Nasbor album, pure black metal, great artwork. This album is fucking fantastic, so it's one of my recommendations. Again, in black metal, Johannes. This is a one-man band who produce some black metal. It's short, it's not even 28 minutes, I guess, but it's such a great black metal album. Again, in black metal, Eastern with a great introduction and great artwork, and this is a great black metal album. So these were my 5 recommendations before we start to my top 10, and these were 5 black metal albums. So now moving on to number 10. Yes, unbelievable. Some fresh metal in Melo's ranking, monthly ranking, and believe me, this is not, spoiler alert, this is not the only fresh metal album in this top 10. Can you imagine that? Wow. The answer, surprise, later on in this show. This one is my number 10 of the month. This is, of course, some black and fresh metal with the Swedish Bensarcator, who brought to us their second full-length album on November the 4th under Black Lion Records. 9 tracks, 58 minutes of great black and fresh metal. Don't miss it if you like this genre. And now moving on to something really totally different with my number 9. And for my number 9, we stay in Sweden with the 13th album of epic doom metal band Candlemass. This album is fucking great. I was really thinking at the beginning of the month that this would be in my top 3, but this month has been so rich in every genre that it was really, the competition was really tough. So still, it's part of my top 10. It's the new Candlemass album. Moving on to number 8. Coming at number 8, I'm bringing you this time to Singapore with some progressive death metal, and this one was completely missed by yours truly in my weekly videos. I realized that this piece was amazing and it should be part of the ranking that I'm presenting to you now. It was out on Willow Tip Records on exactly the 11th of November this year. 7 tracks for 57 minutes of great progressive death metal. This is the second full-length album in the name of Passion of Depression. Don't miss it. It's really cool. Norwegian black metal, progressive metal band In the Woods just released their 6th LP in the name of Diversum. It was released on November the 25th, so this past Friday under Soul Cellar Records. I gotta say that I was a bit surprised because all I heard about this album before its release were the couple of clips that were on YouTube, and I was really expecting some more harshness, but they were producing really black metal in the early days, but then they are producing more avant-garde progressive metal nowadays. But this album is still great, and that's why it deserves here that spot in my top 10 ranking of November. We stay in Norway, but this time some pagan black metal with the 9th album of Campfire. The album's name is Till Clover Stacked, and it was released this month, more precisely on 11th of November under Indie Recordings Records. 44 minutes for 6 tracks. It's great pagan black metal. I really highly recommend you dig into that album as well. And now moving on to number 5. Second full-length album from a band that is coming from the USA but also from Canada. This is their second LP. This is some atmospheric doom death metal. The album is called Song of Salvation, and I'm talking about the band Dream Unending. Great artwork. This is very, very, very atmospheric. It's less heavy than the first album that was out in 2021, but still the heaviness, where when we talk about heaviness, is really present, is really, really huge, but you have great, great and long passages of atmosphere here, and yeah, I love it. It's 43 minutes for 5 tracks. It was released on 11th of November under $20 spin. My number 4 is... My number 4 is the debut album from Germany and Spain German and Spanish band Jade, who produced some atmospheric death metal. Great artwork, one of the best artworks of the month and also of the year. First album, The Pacification of Death, was released this month on the 25th under Pulverized Records. It's 40 minutes sharp for 6 tracks. It's great, great atmosphere, great music. I love it. This is my number 4.
I can see all the colors of the earth. I can see.
So melodic doom death metal now with MMXX. So let's call them 2020. I did my personal review of this album, so if you want more information, go back on my catalog. You will find this video if you want more data about this band and this album. Let's say that it's their debut album in the name of Sacred Cargo. It was recording and arranged during those COVID confinements, and it's a super collaboration of many guys. For example, the guy of Swallow the Sun, you have the guy of Antimatter, you have many great vocalists on this album. Each track is totally different. It's one on my favorite album of the world. Well, this is my number 3. Is on my number 2 with the new Druk album. So this is black metal again with Druk with their, I think it's their 12th or 13th album that was released this month, more precisely on November 11th under Season of Mist. 46 minutes, 4 super long tracks, 10, 11, 8 and 15 minutes. Great black metal, one of the best black metal album of the year. And now moving to the very best of this selection. Before unveiling my number 1 of the month of November, I have to give a shout out to this album. This is the second thrash metal album I was mentioning in the beginning of this video. This is a thrash album, but crossover. It's a mix of a lot of different elements, but it has a basic of a thrash metal. And I'm talking about the new High Command album. This album is absolutely fantastic. So I was not gonna put it on at number 1 spot, but this album deserves to be there, and just it's somewhere situated somewhere between second position and first position. I definitely cannot put this one at number 1 because you will understand who my number 1 is in a minute. But don't miss this album. It's a High Command, great artwork. When you look at the artwork, you're waiting for something different. You're not really waiting for thrash metal. But believe me, if you're even like me, if you're not into thrash metal that much, trust me, just listen to it. Give it a spin or two. Anyway, once you give it a spin, you will respin it again and again and again. It's that good, believe me. So now my number 1 of the month of November is that one. now my number one, my very best favorite album of the month of November 2022 is none other than the new Ulta album. So I'm bringing you to Russia with some post black metal, and they released At the Gates of Dusk. This is their third full-length album. It was released on 18th of November, and you have 7 tracks for 46 minutes. It's absolutely fantastic. It's well, I would think it's more black metal than post-black metal, but it's true that you have some elements of post-black metal in it. So yeah, it's a great album. I had a blast on the couple of listens that I gave it when it was released. I just forgot to mention it in my weekly releases video. You know, I can't be listening to everything that is releasing every week, but this album, believe me, wow, what a blast. This is my number one album of the my number one album of the month of November 2022. This is At the Gates of Dusk from Russian band Ulta. What are your favorite album of the month of November? What did I miss? What do you think about my selection here? Just put everything of that in the comments down below. Don't forget, my video for the best black metal albums are coming on December the 10th. But before that, we will have next weekend, so the 3rd of December, we will have, well, I will give to you my presentation of all the metal albums that are releasing in December. Because yeah, life goes on, even if the year is almost closed. But yeah, there are like maybe 15 to 20 great albums that are releasing in the month of November. And of course, you can count on me to make you not miss those great gems that will be releasing in the last month of the year. So until then, thanks for having watched this video, and I will see you on the other side.